And welcome everybody, Proxy in the Spotlight here. I'm your host, Brother Dan Goodwin. My Dr. Charles Hiltibidal sitting here with me. Doc, we're going to do a little segment here called Rumors of War, because there's rumors of war.
Rumors.
I'm not sure they're rumors.
I'm not sure they're rumors.
I got an article here.
It's beyond saber rattling.
Let me read an article here, and then we'll just get your thoughts as well. This is from December 9th. Adam Credo, I'm not sure who he is now. China vows to open fire on U.S. troops that come to Taiwan's aid. So this is getting real.
Yep, it's getting real.
China's military will heavily attack U.S. troops who come to Taiwan's rescue if a war between China and Taiwan breaks out. A possibility that is increasingly likely as the communist regime readies its war machine on Taiwan's borders. The latest threat to attack the United States during any standoff between China and Taiwan was issued Thursday, which I think was yesterday, I think the 8th of December. In the Global Times, an official Chinese Communist Party mouthpiece that prints seems propaganda. It is credible that the People's Liberation Army will heavily attack U.S. troops who come to Taiwan's rescue, the paper wrote. So this is just one of many things going on. And
well, that's what, just 2 days after the phone call between our president and
it may have been
Russia. Yeah, that's just a day or two.
How did he get him out of bed?
Well, I mean, but it's obvious that he knows that's a no-brainer over there, that there'll be no defense against them. So it just embrazened them that much more.
China is probably the greatest threat to our country of anybody in the world.
Yes.
Apart from ourselves, the Democrat Party and the liberal media.
The liberal media,
they're the greatest threat.
They're the greatest problem.
And but China's the greatest foreign threat.
Yes, sir.
But yet we treat, or at least this administration treats Russia as the great threat.
Sure.
And Russia is not the great threat to America. They certainly have more atomic bombs and all that.
Well, we really wouldn't know what China had, I don't think. But anyway,
we know they have atomic weapons, nuclear power, but there's been some
and China's
accidents.
economic system is in worse condition than ours.
Yeah. So they want Taiwan. Taiwan is where most of our chips are coming from. This is really getting down.
It's an economic thing for them.
Yeah.
Just like the thing with Ukraine and Russia, it's an economic thing.
Now,
but there's something that ties that all together, Dan.
What's that?
That's that pipeline that.
Well, the one that Russia's been allowed to build.
The one that Biden said, yeah, go ahead and build it.
Yeah.
That's the key to every bit of all of this.
Okay. Now, speaking of the Russian pipeline, Russia is on the border of Ukraine.
Yes.
And war is about ready to happen, and we're sticking our nose in that.
Yep.
And I believe somebody in the administration said that we'll nuke Russia if we have to.
Yeah, they won't do that, but it all revolves around.
Now wait a minute, we're talking about 2020 now. We're talking about 2021, and things.
Surely there's some.
2 years ago, we'd have never thought we'd be where we are right now.
That's true, but
I mean anything. You know, I've said this before, and I wrote a chapter in my 7 Clocks book called the Ticking Nuclear Clock. It's one of the 7 clocks ticking towards the end time. It's a miracle that nobody except us in 1945 has ever attacked anybody with nukes. We're the only one that has.
Because the retaliation would destroy me. You know, I mean.
But it's just a matter of time.
It may be. You might be right.
70-some years now since the bomb in 1945. There's been tests of nuclear bombs, but nobody has attacked anybody with one yet. No. I think it's coming.
Well, it may, and
it may happen before the rapture. Something could happen.
But you got Russia and Ukraine, and it's all of Russia's energy that feeds Europe comes through Ukraine, and so that's why a couple of years ago they only went into Crimea and stopped. Because they couldn't afford to damage the infrastructure in Ukraine of the natural gas that they flow into Europe.
Well, we're talking
now with the new pipeline. They don't have any. They don't have it. We don't have anything to say. Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Well, right now they're talking about sending U.S. servicemen, U.S. troops to Ukraine.
Yeah.
I mean, what in the world is? What are we thinking?
Well, they're part of NATO. You know, I don't know. The rumors of wars that I believe.
Because Matthew 24, there shall be wars and rumors of wars. And,
yes. Yes.
And there, of course, there's always war somewhere.
You know, I think from the CIA fact book or historical record somewhere, I read that there's only been like 17 years in recorded history that there's not been some kind of war.
Yeah. And probably if you could study hard enough, you'd probably find
some
there
other.
too.
But, you know, I mean, it goes all the way back to the rock, I guess, that was used by Cain to kill Abel.
Yeah.
That lost human nature.
And that saying that I put in my book from the Prussian proverb, it said, in case of rain, the war will be held in the auditorium.
Yeah.
But we will have our war. Rain or shine, we will have war. Even if we got to move it inside.
Well, it's both of them are really all about economics.
And of course, the weakness of America.
We have really been the policemen of the world for the last, 60, 70 years. And it's obvious the administration we have now is worthless when it comes to any opposition to such oppression.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to stop China. I think Taiwan will be overrun by China.
Our military is more interested in transgenderism and wokeness and all of this absolute sanity.
Yeah.
Rather than really defense.
Now, if that's not bad enough, we've got the Iran problem with Israel,
and we're talking about we'll take care of that. You know, Israel's on their own.
Israel's going to have to do that.
They're going to have to do it,
and I think it's going to have to be soon.
I don't know about you, but I just have the sense, after living 73 years, I've watched a lot of this a long way. I just have a serious feeling that after the holidays are over and January starts, we are going to see major things in our world.
Yeah, yeah. There's definitely something else coming. There has to
Something's
be,
coming
because they know that if the 22 election happens.
Absolutely.
We did a show about what we think's coming with Kamala.
Since then I've seen two other
people have
major people come out with very similar scenarios that you pointed out, and I could see how. Honestly, I could see you're watching four, and even the top advisor to Kamala Harris. They've all resigned within a month.
Yeah.
And did you know what I've watched? The last 5 days, I've been seeing Hillary Clinton here. Hadn't seen her in weeks.
Yeah, haven't seen her in months.
And you're seeing her all over the place. I don't know, but I'm telling you something. I am confident.
Now, some people suggested that she could be the one who replaces Kamala.
Yep.
I personally, I don't see it, but it's possible.
Oh, I could see how that could be.
They're good friends with the Bidens.
They really think she deserves it. That's why she read her acceptance speech. I think she's getting ready to. I don't know.
Now, a lot of folks are saying Obama's wife, Michelle.
Yeah. I don't think she's got it. She doesn't have enough wit about her to do it.
But you don't need wit. You just need to be liked.
Yeah, but if they're planning on the whole plan's not just to replace the vice president.
It's for that person to become the president.
It's to replace the president.
That's right.
And no, they're going to have somebody
that would bring Obama back in the picture, though.
Yeah. Well, so will Hillary Clinton.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah,
Remember now, he bumped her.
Yeah, but
way back then.
I'm sure. Yeah, I don't know.
Was it 2008?
Something like
she was
that.
Supposed to be she was going to break the glass ceiling, and Obama beat her out.
Well, he needed to beat her out because they needed to set up what they've got set, because she couldn't have done it. But she's at a point where somebody's running all this anyway.
Yeah.
I don't care who. Putin and Xi out of China. They're probably the only two rulers in the world that's really in charge of their own nation. I'm serious. I really am serious.
Yeah. So we got all these possible wars getting ready to happen.
Oh,
America's getting ready to step into possibly with Russia and Ukraine. Yeah. And then there's this, Doc. I'm sure you saw this. And I don't know, let me have this one here. Can you folks see that? Yeah, I think you can see that okay. That is in America. That is in New York City, outside of the United Nations building. Doc, I think you know about this.
Sad.
And this is in black and white. I wish I'd have had I'll have Rex put that up. So I'll have Rex put that up on the screen. Pure evil, it says. This is from the Gateway Pundit, I think, here. Joe Hoft, December 9th. He says, pure evil. The United Nations unveils a statue at its New York City headquarters that resembles the beast from the book of Revelation. And he ain't kidding.
No, I know.
And they just unveiled a statue of a beast outside its headquarters in New York City. The statue is bizarre. It resembles the beast from the book of Revelation. And let me read Revelation 13 for the audience here. I think this is Revelation 13, verse 2. And the beast which I saw was like, and Rex, put that picture up while I read this. And the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard, and his feet were as the feet of a bear, and his mouth as the mouth of a lion. And the dragon gave him his power and his seat and great authority. Yep. Thanks, Rex. And of course, Revelation 13 is talking about the final world kingdom. Yep. And it's made up of all the
character
kingdoms,
traits of all
Babylon,
those,
Greece, Medes
out of
and
that
Persians,
image,
Rome.
Out of chapter 7,
right?
God's vision there. Yeah.
And so this final beast that shows up in the end time is made up of
all of that,
parts of all the kingdoms before it. And there it is sitting in New York City outside of the United Nations building that really ought to be torn down and built into something useful. Shame on us for having that there. But I'll tell you why it's there, because we run it. America
But the whole thing is, the devil is not hiding any of his agenda.
Yeah, this is out in the open. I mean, already in Greece, they've got the woman riding the beast outside their place in Greece. This is here in America
it's
now.
all right in front of everybody,
what kind of a piece of
and
trash
nobody
is
can
this?
see it.
Yeah, it's crazy. And so that is going on right here under our nose, right out in the open. The one world system is being flaunted.
It's being flaunted
Wars
in our
are getting
face.
ready to happen, and God's people are getting ready to be put in concentration camps, like's happening in Australia right now.
It's already happening.
Australia's a democracy. And they're being rounded up if they haven't been, and
I know.
or if they're being rounded up and they're being placed in
that would
quarantine.
be for another study we'd like to, but we got to be careful here. But yeah. Oh, it's almost that bad as some places here.
As I say so often, here we are at the end of all things.
Yeah, I mean, it's bad. My missionary son, who's been a missionary for years.
We're going to get to that next week.
Okay. All right.
I didn't tell you. I should have told you. That's
our
update for next week.
Europe's getting tough, buddy. Yeah. Europe's getting tough.
We're going to talk about the real problem that this has caused. Yeah. The spiritual problem.
Okay.
And
amen.
And so I've been thinking about that ever since you told me about your son. It's been on my mind, and so that's going to be for the update next week. So this coming show this week is going to be our Christmas special. We're doing 2 in a row with Dr. Hiltibidal's brand new DVD set. Mm-hmm. And Rex can put that up if he wants. It's already on the website, right?
Yeah.
And so go to Processing the Spotlight and go to and just click on Dr. Hiltibidal's website. In fact, Lucretia, my wife, may put that right on the main screen for you. And all you do is click on it there. It'll take you right to his bookstore. He's got a 3 DVD set plus a CD in there on the truths about the Christmas story. Yeah. And it's gonna blow away your traditions and wake you up to the truths of what Christmas really what really happened 2,000 years ago.
And what it's really all about.
Yeah.
Yes.
Not that traditions are okay. I mean, I still like the manger
We got the
scene.
Christmas trees and things of this nature, but yes.
So
what Christmas is really all about. I say it all the time, from end to end, our Bible, it's all about redemption.
We're going to talk about the wise men, and how many there were, where they came from. We're going to talk about the star, the timing, all that stuff. The shepherds, the innkeeper, and all that stuff.
What innkeeper?
Yeah, the innkeeper. So you've ruined Christmas for us now that we know some of this stuff. Now, I knew about the wise men. I've known that for years, but I did learn a lot couple years back when I watched these for the first time. Or actually, the CDs you used to have.
The CDs I used to have.
And when I first had you out at Prophecy News, we did the Christmas CDs that you had. And I learned some things that I didn't know on that. And
well, almost 40 years of research. So.
Yeah. So interesting stuff. And you got a theory about the timing of the birth of Christ as well. That's interesting. I'm still on the fence, but you may be right about it. I don't know.
Several of my best friends aren't on my side there, but they can't refute a couple of the reasons why.
I've never believed in December birth.
Oh no,
I've always felt like it was
December
in the fall.
25. That was Sybil's birthday in the Roman Empire, but if you trace it back, that's supposedly the day that Tammuz was born.
Yeah.
So it has nothing to do with Christmas.
Yeah, and I've, of course, Christmas, Christ Mass. What's that tell you?
Yeah.
Where it came from. So, I've always felt like it was a fall thing, but I don't know. Because see, that would give you 3.5 years from Passover back to the fall.
But lambs aren't born in the fall,
right? And that's something that I got to relook at.
Well, here's the thing: follow the pattern of types.
I guess it would simply mean Jesus lived 30 years instead of 33.5, right?
We've always assumed different things.
Yeah.
And a lot of research would indicate that in reality, his ministry might have been a little bit longer than we even think. But
it does say when he was about 30. It on purpose says about.
About.
There's not an exact number there.
Not an exact number. So anyway, yeah. But I give my reasons.
Yeah. And you're probably right. I
feel confident in myself.
It just goes against what I've always thought. Sure. And so I'm struggling with it. I gotta go hash it out.
But if you follow the pattern, it's all about tabernacling in the flesh. And everything about the tabernacle in the wilderness.
And I hope that we can get to that, because you mentioned tabernacles in Exodus chapter 40. Or the establishment of the tabernacle. And I think you're claiming that it was in Nisan. In the month
of, I mean, it plainly tells you it's the first day of the month.
All right, so Nisan 1.
Yeah, right. Nisan 1. Well, it would have been called Abib in that day.
Right, Abib, yeah.
But yes, yeah.
And so 1,500 years later,
exact same day,
here he comes.
Christ is going to tabernacle in the flesh the same day God tabernacled in the tabernacle, because everything about the tabernacle was fulfilled in Jesus Christ. If you follow, and our God, I believe the Lord does everything in order.
Now that is a pretty good proof right there, if you're right about that. And I haven't gone and looked at it yet.
I think you've got to follow the pattern of all of the types, and you're going to come to understanding it's all about the tabernacling. Yeah, that's when the lambs are born.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot would help if we studied this thing about shepherding and lambs.
Yeah.
It opens up a lot of doors, doesn't it?
Well, like I told you, I've spent over 40 years researching and searching in this area. And I didn't know all these things 30, 40 years ago.
God chose sheep to liken unto his people.
That's right.
And sheep, and we stumble, you can't get back up, and you got to be led everywhere.
You got to have that shepherd to guide you and protect you. And hey, don't drink that over there. Here, you got to. Yeah.
Maybe we'll do something on that sometime.
Yeah.
There's some books out there.
Some great materials
There's some books I read years ago about the shepherds that were interesting.
But we'll cover some of those things in the TV program.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Don't forget, folks, we're here on YouTube. We're also on Rumble. We also have a podcast. You can get to that podcast right from our website, Prophecy in the Spotlight. Oh, and something new we've got to tell you about. All of our TV programs, and I guess the updates too, if you wanted them, but all of the TV programs are going to be available if you'd like to order a CD of the program, just the audio, or if you'd like a DVD. There's a way you can order them, and it'll be on the website. And when we get orders, we'll duplicate some and we'll get them in the mail. So we'll be getting that up on the website in the bookstore, how you can order any program that you like that we've done. We can record those for you. All right, don't forget we are a viewer-supported ministry. To keep us on television, we rely on the gifts of God's people. You can write a check. You can click the donate button right here on. In fact, down in the comments of the YouTube, you can click on the website, go straight to the website, and there'll be a donate button right there. We also have package deals from time to time. Right now, we have Brother Bill Waugh. And one of the updates we did with Bill Waugh, he talked about Grace Abounded More. We have a CD that's available for donation to help us stay on the air. You can see that there. So, all right. I hope you know Jesus as your Savior. I hope you're born again. I hope that your sins have been washed in the blood of Jesus Christ. That's really what the Christmas story is all about. It's all about
redemption.
That's right. And you say that in the DVD every time. Yes. Okay, well, it's been good being with you all. Doc, thanks for being on the show. And folks, we'll see you next time. Don't forget, keep your eyes on the sky.